With Man United's inconsistent form continuing, though, there's even more attention being paid to the club's transfer business this window. Fresh rumours regarding potential signings and big departures have arisen in the last 24 hours. So, and this is one of my perks of the job. We're here with an expert. We're so very lucky to have Alex Crook with us to bring us up to speed. Alex, we'll get straight into it. There's lots of reports of Anthony being sent on loan.
Can we get excited, please? Tell me you've got some good news.
Ange wants him out the door. Crookie, how valid are these rumours? Is there any truth to it?
Yeah, I think it's done. Real Betis on loan for the rest of the season. No option to buy, including the deal. There was talk of an option of around 35 million euros.
We'll take what we can get,
which would have been a massive loss on the £86 million they paid. And I mentioned on breakfast yesterday morning, actually, on talkSPORT, pound for pound, this guy is the worst signing in Premier League history, isn't he? When you look at his stats, 1 goal this season against Barnsley in the EFL Cup, and fitting in some ways. I was going to say the end of his Manchester United career, but it probably isn't, because they're not going to sign him permanently, are they, Real Betis? So it only kicks the can down the road. But the last act we'll see of Anthony in a Manchester United shirt this season was missing from 2 yards against Southampton, when if he just stood up, he'd score. And he just fell over.
Oh, yeah.
He just fell over.
Did not need to go to ground for that, did he? But so there you go. It's as good as done, is what Crook is saying. And I can see you beaming from that side of the studio. You're happy about that, I take it.
Do we have champagne? Can we celebrate?
Can we get some champagne for Ange, please?
Thank you. No, listen. You never want to see it go this way. I don't want Man United signings to be terrible, especially ones that we've paid a lot of money for. Yeah. But it clearly isn't working. For me, it's that Fenerbahce game that we were at when he started rolling around on the floor and all that ridiculous behaviour. And
he even made Ahmad angry.
Even Ahmad was angry. You know what? The nicest kid on the block, and he was fuming. I think... I kind of feel a bit sad for him that he started this season saying, oh, you're going to see a different side to me. I really think that I can bring something this season. It hasn't happened. I say it all the time about cutting the cord. This needs to happen. I think for him, it's the best option for the club. And let's hope that he can have a good season in La Liga and maybe a La Liga team, anyone would take him. Also, I don't know.
Manuel Pellegrini is the manager, isn't he, for Real Betis?
Well, yeah, exactly. Who knows?
The City connection.
He could reignite his career over there. Let's hope he does. I'm going to throw some more over to you here, Crookie. Lecce's 20-year-old left wing back Patrick Dorgu. We've talked about this position. It's very important in Amorim's system. How valid is this? Is this feasible? Is it going to happen this window?
Well, the interest is certainly valid, and talks are ongoing between the two clubs. I think the issue could be the transfer fee. I think they're asking for in excess of £30 million. Obviously, PSR-wise, United are very reluctant to spend. But let's see if they can get this deal done. I think Ruben Amorim has made it pretty clear to the hierarchy that if you're going to sign one position this window, it's got to be a left wing back, because there's no sign of Luke Shaw coming back to fitness. I'm told that Tyrell Malacia has been told he can go out on loan, so they must be confident of getting someone in that position to even entertain
Malacia going out on loan.
Go.
Yeah, what's I mean,
he's another one, isn't he?
It's never really happened, does it?
It's just never worked, has it? It's just never worked. Now this one makes me feel sick reading this. I'm not going to lie to you. I've said it so many times, but we're going to talk about departures here. Garnacho and Kobbie Mainoo.
Mainoo won't go.
Okay, good.
That's one for you, Ryan.
Yes, I'm feeling good now. So Mainoo's not going anywhere.
No, listen, the situation with both players is that United are not actively trying to force them out the door. Because they're academy products and because Ineos are conscious of the finances for reasons we've discussed, they're vulnerable to bids. But I think Kobbie Mainoo is protected by a contract, talks ongoing about extending that deal. So I think there's many more players that they would sell ahead of him. Garnacho is slightly different.
Crookie, don't do this to me. Don't say this, because I know Napoli are sniffing around. Yeah, he's not going, is he?
And you don't make bids if you're a club of the stature of Napoli without a little bit of encouragement on the player side. And what I was told this morning, and I reported it in my notebook that you'll find on the talkSPORT website, is that reluctantly Garnacho is now coming round to the idea of leaving United. He doesn't want to force his way out, but I think he fears that he doesn't really fit into Ruben Amorim's system. Obviously, those doubts crept in after he was dropped alongside Rashford for the Manchester derby. He's ambitious. I think he wants to follow in Ronaldo's footsteps and play for Real Madrid one day. And at the moment, he just doesn't see a role for him at United. The flip side of that, there's no issues, as I understand it, between the manager and the player in terms of his character, the way that he applies himself in training. And if he does stay, he will get his minutes, as he has done recently. But if they get an offer that matches their valuation I think he would now reluctantly move on, and I think they would partially reluctantly take it. So I think this is certainly one we're going to be keeping an eye on.
Oh, man. I can't tell you how much this breaks my heart. I'm such a big fan of Garnacho. I know I've said it several times. Ben Jacobs reported that Garnacho's agent was at Chelsea last night. So if not Napoli, do you think...
There's interest from Chelsea. I'm not sure they're going to pay the money that United would want, and certainly United aren't looking to send him out on loan or anything like that. I mean, they've already got Sancho on loan from United, so they couldn't do that anyway.
How many minutes realistically would he be getting?
Yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of wide players, but there is a slot, isn't there, because of the situation ongoing with Mykhailo Mudryk. So certainly Chelsea have been asked to be kept informed on developments, but it looks like Napoli have shown the stronger interest so far. And of course, they've got Scott McTominay, who's going great guns in Serie A.
Well, and so are they. This is my plea down the camera. Look, you can see a team like Napoli, who are flying right now, are so interested. The manager said Garnacho's his dream signing. Think about what you're hearing. Why would we let a player like that go? I know. I speak to Man United fans and I hear them say, let him go. It's pure profit. What are you talking about? When did you care about profit and things? We've got a fantastic player here, a 20-year-old player.
Where does he fit? Because he's not a wing back. He's not a number 10.
I hear that, but the last comments on Amorim on Garnacho were he's prepared to look at his own position. He's prepared to change, and I think at 20 years old we could see him adapt to somewhere else.
We could to adapt maybe to a different role.
He's supposedly a really good lad as well. I know Bruno Fernandes made some suggestions about his attitude early in his United tenure, but what I'm told is he got his head down. He's a nice kid.
Yeah.
It would be sad.
I know the comments are going to say, "What? Just move on. It's fine. We'll replace him. There's better wingers out there." I think Scholes said the same thing, but I say stick with the lad. I really do. Okay, we're going to move on. I've got to ask you about Rashford because what's going on there? There was a lot of talk at the start of the window. He was the name, wasn't he, Crookie? And it's gone a little bit quiet.
Well, it was no coincidence that a lot of journalists ran with the same information on Tuesday that Rashford was doing extra training. He was willing to fight for his place in the team.
What a surprise. No one's come in for him yet, and suddenly is 100% committed and has no problem with Ruben Amorim or the club. If you were that committed, don't say that you want to leave.
I think he made a massive error of judgment with what he said to Henry Winter, and that's not a criticism of Henry at all. He's a fantastic journalist.
Yeah.
But when a player comes out publicly and says, I need a new challenge, that's not going to go down well with the manager. It's not gone down well with the supporters either. And, he's saying now he wants to fight for his place. Well, where was the fight when he was actually on the pitch? You know, when he was sulking about and, maybe not putting a shift in as Manchester United fans would expect. So, but it's a really difficult situation. And again, I've written about this in the notebook. If he does stay, and there's still interest from Borussia Dortmund and from Monaco and from Barcelona as well.
So there's interest there?
Yeah, but financially it's a really difficult deal to do. He's on 325 grand a week plus bonuses, image rights, takes it nearer 400 grand a week. Even if United are asking for clubs to pay half that, that's a 200 grand a week commitment, which for clubs in Europe is an awful lot of money. So something's going to have to give. It wouldn't surprise me if he does stay. I said right at the start of the window, it's all very well saying he wants to leave, but where's he going to go? And, when a player comes out and says they want to leave, normally they've got something lined up. I don't think he did at that stage. But if he does stay, how does Ruben Amorim reintegrate him into the team? How does he patch up that relationship?
Because surely, in order to keep his stock as high as Rashford's stock at the minute can be, surely you can't just keep him benched to try and get rid of him.
You just devalue the asset.
Yeah,
and also, there's an argument. You look at these performances. Peak Marcus Rashford improves the team.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen peak Marcus Rashford for a long time.
I think that's what it is. I think he's been our star man for a long time too. So if you make your star man someone as inconsistent as Rashford, you get inconsistent results. Do
you know what I'd like him to do? If he doesn't leave, come on Inside Devils.
Yeah.
Give us an interview. Open up. Tell us what's been going wrong for you in the last 18 months or so.
Yeah.
Show a little bit of contrition for those performances.
Honesty, man.
Stop playing the victim.
Yeah, that's it. We want the Marcus Rashford exclusive. Come on here and tell us exactly how you feel, Marcus.